Hey, how y'all doing? I'm rheabillytatum. You might also remember me as the knockoff Barbie you got for your 7th birthday because your parents never loved you. Sorry about it. What else about me? So I like to start off a set, introducing myself, telling people stuff that they might not know about me. So something I often start off with is saying that I have brain damage. Like I actually had a stroke like a dozen years ago. And you know that I'm telling you the truth because is this face the face of somebody who has something to hide? I don't think so. But I probably didn't need to start off that way because you look like an intelligent crowd. You can tell that I have brain damage. You can see my makeup okay, right? That's why it looks like this. Another thing that you should probably know about me is I'm a comedian who doesn't like a lot of comedy. It feels like a lot of comedy. It's not even jokes. It's just lazy stereotypes and minorities. I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested in hearing that, telling that kind of joke. I'm a gay who does drag, sings show tunes, listens to Britney, and has cats and daddy issues. I am a lazy stereotype of a minority. So since y'all brought up daddy issues, I have always had a complicated relationship with my father, probably pretty obviously. We're always just really different people. He was really into sports, and as far as my sports career goes, have you ever heard transphobic people talk about how having XY chromosomes and testosterone in your system gives you an unfair advantage in sports? I invite them to watch me try to catch a ball. It's just is she trying to catch something or is she having another stroke? It's not pretty. Another thing about my dad, have you ever known somebody who, when you got something, he just had to have it too? Well, my dad had a stroke. He couldn't let me have that one thing to myself, which is selfish. It was actually touch and go for a while there. He was in the hospital. And I'm a really religious person, and I prayed really hard when he was in the hospital. And he ended up making a remarkable recovery. And that's when I became convinced that God does not listen to my prayers. So earlier I blamed my makeup on my brain damage, and that's half the story. The other half of the story is that I'm from a pretty small town, and there's only so much that an artist can do with a canvas when the canvas's parents were maybe a little bit related. If you like that, we got more inbreeding jokes. Speaking of which, do we have any country music fans in the house? I love country music. I don't love all of it, though. Have any of you heard that song, Try That in a Small Town? Yeah. It's about, if you do anything to contravene, conservative values in a small town, basically you're under the threat of violence. It's a terrible song. And, I grew up in a small town. I grew up, I turned out like this. Small towns are not these bastions of family values. For all their talk about being against all kinds of sexual deviance, there is a shocking amount of bestiality that goes on behind the scenes in these small towns. I'm not here to yuck anybody's yum, because, what else are you going to do when you run out of cousins? Really. Options are limited. I could shit on small towns all day, but, like other gays, I love a messy bitch. And, there are no messier bitches than small town straight girls. I give them 10 out of 10. Age they dropped out of school, 10. Time they start drinking in the morning, 10. Candidates in the last paternity test, 10. Teeth they haven't lost to meth yet, 10. 10s across the board. Talking about small towns, sometimes I feel like I should run for the tourism board in my hometown. Imagine it. Meth, incest, bestiality. Try that in a small town. Thanks, I'm rheabillytatum. You've been great.